Yay, yo, what is up? STS here. Welcome to another simple review. And before I get on with this simple review on Ghost Team, I want to talk about something real quick about my simple reviews. Now, the thing is, though, I use simple review as a title to get people like me, like all the put the simple review / number, which number it is, and I basically, my views are simple review. Basically, you're taking a simple thought process from me. Now, I got heavily criticized on my high noon review. Oh, some guys tell me, oh, your views are too long, and your review ain't enough about a simple review. I don't give a damn. Some movies, you know, I thought about calling my review, my new the series, Spoil View. Now, some movies I heavily spoil, but I tell you beforehand. I give you my thoughts about it, and then I tell you, okay, spoiler, here comes the spoil view. And then I'll tell you like certain spoilers and stuff, just like I'm going to tell you now. Like I'm going to talk about the film and then spoil it, and then I'll have the spoil view. So when you don't want to watch it, later. But, you know, that's one thing that gets me mad. And I get so pissed off when people give me thumbs downs on my reviews. Like, you know what? I'm not the best reviewer in the world. I'm my own reviewer in my own little world. So, I just want to get that thoughts and say, you know, whatever. You know, people can critique them. Some videos I have that you can't do ratings, you can't do thumb downs, because I want to disable it because I don't really care. This is my thought process. I'm not like you. You may not like the review. Okay, that's your opinion. But, I just want to get that out of the way. And, yeah, we're here. I was going to watch, I was watching this film on Netflix. I'm not a serial killer, but I watched it with a female, and I'm waiting if the female will come back to hang out, and we'll watch it. If not, I'm going to watch it myself. The movie was pretty good, but now we're here, which I was supposed to watch American Pie, but I said, no, fuck it. I wasn't into watching films that I already seen before and do a nostalgia review. Like The Breakfast Club, I overlooked that again. But here we are with 2016's Ghost Team. Now, this film I've seen on Netflix, and this just came out supposedly. When was it? It released in August. Okay, so it was early this year. Oh, maybe not early this year, but it was in the tour. It's an independent comedy thriller, which the thriller part, at the ending, maybe it can be called a thriller part. Wasn't that really much thriller to me? A comedy starring Jon Heder, who's aka Napoleon Dynamite. And this movie I didn't really give a damn about until I saw the Cheesy Tots commercial from Burger King, and I had Jon Heder and the guy who plays Pedro, which I don't know who played his name from Napoleon Dynamite. But the thing is, though, we're gonna have a little Faygo root beer plug. But I want to see it, and I've seen it before on Netflix, and I always pass it on. If I get to watch it. And the plot's good. The fucking refrigerator is rusting out. 85-minute film. This is distributed by The Orchard, Google Play Movies TV. And this film was in head of Jon Heder, David Krumholtz, Melonie Diaz, Paul W. Downs, Justin Long, and Amy Sedaris. Who the fuck? Oh, she was her. No wonder I recognized her ass. She plays a fucking... Wow. Now I can understand what the hell... Yeah, Victoria. Okay, yeah, but the whole process of this film is... Jon Heder's a guy who just works at this Arnold's and copy and print place. He just prints and copies papers, and he has a dedication, love for the paranormal investigating. And it's really fucking funny to watch this film, and watch a show called The Ghost Gators, which is AKA Ghost Hunters. Yes, Ghost Hunters from Discovery Channel, or wherever fucking channel it was. Ghost Hunters are basically making fun of themselves as Ghost Getters. And you had the bald fucker, which I don't care, and you got the other guy, Steven, I remember, and, you know, I never, here's the thing about, we can talk about Ghost Hunters real quick, never was a fucking fan. No, maybe Ghost Adventures and everybody else, you know, they had their little, oh, it's fake, and they, all this, but you know what? Ghost Hunters, it was the least unfucking watchable paranormal series ever, because every time you see it, oh, what's that? Like these fucking eerie noises would come into play. I mean, I don't understand. We can just cut it off real short. Ghost Adventures is my favorite. But there's some other ones I like too. But But he's just, his dedication, and I thought was just really stupid and fucking dumb. And like they realized the Ghost Hunters team's on here just to make fun of themselves. Because where they been at? Have they been around? I mean, I don't know. I don't watch Ghost Hunters. I haven't watched Ghost Hunters one because I don't have cable. I just have the internet and the Netflix and Hulu. So, but I was like, I saw this like, yeah, this is what you do. You make fun of yourself on a crappy movie. Well, it ain't really crappy. It's just a B movie, just to make fun of yourself. I mean, it's terrible. But he wants to find paranormal footage so they can be on a team. That's his goal, and he decides, that's what he wants to do. And some old guy comes in, like, talks about, like, oh, can you make some no trespassing signs and some other shit. And talking about this place might be haunted and shit, and it just crosses his eye, and he wants to go and check it out. So he checks out he wants to go check out this place wherever it is. So that's what his thing is, basically. So he sets out a team. Now throughout the film, his best friend's played by Stan's played by David Krumholtz. The David Krumholtz, I've seen him. I was looking at this guy and like he's fatter than hell, but I recognize him. And he was a skinny motherfucker. And the thing is, though, this guy really put his dedication and soul into this film. I mean, he's fat. He plays a guy who thinks his woman's got abducted by aliens, but basically, it's what he always says. I think his woman just left him, and he just thinks because he was big in the science fiction world and the Star Trek or something, or like he talks about in the film in the movie. He talks in the film Ghost Team that the scene in Signs. I think he's a big alien lover. He's big science fiction, but when his wife left him on the altar or whatever, or wasn't go to the marriage stage, he probably fucked some other guy instead who was in fucking Star Wars. So I don't know. We don't know the whole base of his story. He's very depressive and gloomy. He'd basically be the character in me. But then again, Jon Heder's character in here, he's like more me as well. Melonie Diaz plays what the fuck's her name? I forgot her fucking name. She plays Ellie, and she just plays a person who just lives next door. I mean, works next door to Jon Heder, his name is Lewis, and she plays at a coffee shop, I think, and then she works at a coffee shop, and he works at that print place. And one of the scenes before he meets Melody, every day one of my favorite scenes in this film is with John doing the same thing, and also with Stan coming in because he has no place to go. He crashes with him, and they have such a good bond and good best friendship that I wish I could have with him, with anybody. Because I had ex-roommates before. But when you're in a public housing place, yeah, it's illegal. I mean, you can have them stay there, but when they find out, it's illegal. And now if I had a regular apartment without that, with someone help, yeah, no problem, no fucking problem. But I like the broship, the bromance. I mean, the brothers that they are, and I thought that's a cool ass friendship, and they go throughout the film. But my scenes is when it fast forwards like every day, Stan would just go to work. No. Lewis would just go to work, and then he'd go to the bar, which his van, he has a van, he just drives a little bit close to the fucking, it's basically on the far left side, the bar is, to his shop is on the far right side, which I thought was dumb, because he was so scared just to walk there, but then again, you never know. Then they get a hold of, Ellie is the one, then they meet Zach, who's played by Paul W. Downs. He's the guy who supposedly has his education. He works at Micro Center, which is basically aka Best Buy, Circuit City, kind of whatever. And he's played by this sarcastic, perverted asshole. And he was fun. He had some good parts in the thing. But then Justin Long. Justin Long plays Ross. No, Justin. I know, recognize he plays this mall cop or whatever. Yeah, mall cop. But he's pretty fucking. He's funny as hell. I thought he did a really good job. Justin Long from Accepted, which I still have not did a review for that. One of my favorite films of all time is Accepted. But Justin Long, unbelievable, great. I've never seen him in Strange Wilderness as a stoner. That's still my favorite character he portrays as that stoner. This one right here is alright. He did a really fucking good job. His haircut was fucking boyish, like from a 1990s boy band, or I don't know. He kind of looked kind of retarded. I don't. Look, Zach's character called him oh, you have a elementary girl's haircut. I mean, that's more like a lesbian haircut, like a marine cut with a lesbian instead. I don't know. And who the fuck is Mitch? Oh, he's probably the old guy. Well, the thing is, though, they want to do ghost hunts, so they go to that old guy's thing, and and it's pretty cool, funny. And some stuff was not funny, but it was alright. Oh yeah, never mind, I forgot. They make Victoria, so they need a psychic. They had their muscle as Ross. They got their computer guy for Zach. They got Lewis as the leader. They wanted Melody to be the researcher, but she didn't. Did she really do anything? She was just he was there because he likes her and stuff. And there's a point of this scene. Sorry, spoil view. The scene where would you be on my team? He's already been hanging up, and she's like, "Oh, can I be on team? Can I be with Victoria?" And he's like, "Oh, no problem. That's no problem." He's not gonna force it. He wants to be great. And then they have a psychic, which is a fucking TV psychic, just like Mrs. Cleo. Her name's Victoria, who's played by Amy Sedaris, or whatever her name is, or whatever how her name is. She plays Candy with Strangers with Candy, a legendary show from Comedy Central. And she's a fucking ripoff. I mean, the thing is, she was the most unlikely character in this movie, in my opinion. I didn't care for her bitch ass, and I didn't even give a shit. It goes on. I mean, they go in this place and they get a Ouija board and shit, but nothing really goes on. Now, the ending, when it goes, there's some good parts and then not, like the guy who pops out, I find, stupid. But they end up finding some activity and stuff, but it's not Ghost. So, but which I'll talk about in the spoil view at the end of this. But at the end, I wasn't expecting that. I thought that was going to be something, or a comedy-like, but it went from a comedy to what it says, thriller on Wikipedia, but not mostly to like an action. Well, then again, the thriller part did kind of work out. And I didn't expect that. And the ending was fabulous. I enjoy it, and you see you see like, wow, this guy was really under this guy really had this layout, and you didn't know that he looked so innocent and stuff, but he wasn't. But at the end of the day, this film here, a typical B, I spit, sorry about that. A typical B movie. It was great. There was more positives than negatives. I thought they did a real great job. Seeing fucking, when I saw David Krumholtz and this being big and fat, like he was taking this acting real serious. Because it was like he did a really good fucking job. He was so funny. I think he was he is my favorite character in this film. Lewis, he's 2 point, but my favorite character would have to be, Stan. And that's what it is. But at the end of the day, this was pretty good. I recommend it. Yes, if you're a Jon Heder fan, Napoleon Dynamite fan, check it out. Check out all of his movies. By the way, it's so good. And then with David Krumholtz, and then Melonie Diaz, but I definitely recommend this film. Is it rewatchable with friends? I don't know if I could rewatch this again. It wasn't really favorable as another. It's not really. It's just maybe could watch it in later years on. Maybe with my son, maybe, but nothing really rewatchable to watch about it. Basically to the end. It's all right, solvy comedy, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I wouldn't recommend it. And there's my phone calling. But yes, I did recommend it, and rewatchable, not so much. But here we are. You have 10 seconds. 10 seconds for the spoil review. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later, guys. All right, the spoiler review. So, what I'm just going to talk about the very ending here at this point, and my thoughts about it. The scene where, because there's a main control part, their main control room is like the shed of this barn that's more like in the cornfield. So that's where it's at. The barn, they're going to a barn, which this old guy was talking about. Oh, this place is haunted. I need to make some. He wanted to make Lewis make some copies of these banners of no trespassing. So they go to that, and they end up losing each other. And Victoria's the first one lost, and they watch this video and they see a guy's face, and they thought, "Oh God, we have some evidence finally," And then at the control room they would have. There's always this big window next to it, and I thought, fuck you, I don't give a damn. If you see me, if I'm doing this, I went ghost hunting before, and I was at the most negative time in my world. I had a deep scratch from all the way up here. And I was using dowsing rods, talking to evil spirits, and that's no bullshit lie. I'm not this is from the old Boys and Girls Club in Marion, Indiana. It's in the ghetto. It's a fucking big ass blue fucking abandoned building. I would never want to go back there unless I'm with like 20 people. Because, I would like to go there with a big ass crew besides just 4 people or just 2 people. I've been in that place one-on-one with my friend. But the scene with the people come out and like, oh, get out of here. At first I thought I was a homeless person. Because in the barn, there's a bed and a haystack, but what if it's just homeless people that come after him? But no, guess what they find? Everybody fucking disappears, except fucking Matt, what the fuck's your name? Ellie and Lewis. And then they find an EMF detector. They find generators. And then, before that, but they find out the fucking place is a fucking meth lab. With these fucking weird fucking people, these meth addicts, these meth heads. And you find out the fucking old guy who was trying to lure people out was trying to make that a fucking, trying to get them out of his fucking land and do his meth lab. Now the fat guy, whose name's Hannah, of all names, was fucking hilarious. Big fat fucker too. And he looked like the guy from fucking Taps from Ghost Getters or Ghost Hunters or whatever. But he is involved. He was the guy. And then they try to get out, and then Zach tells his I wasn't graduated, I failed out. I just looked at my mom and I'm a fuck up too. And so the film you get is that everybody has their own fucked up lives. Like for instance for me in case. Everybody has their own fucked up lives. But you know what? This group right here was not judgmental at all. Like what Melonie said, it's okay, we have our own small lives. Just like with Lewis when he was leaving him, he's like, what am I supposed to do? I just know how to print copy and papers, I thought they would kiss. But there was no kiss at all. But the thing, at the end of the day, they end up arresting him, that old guy, the cops come, and paintball. And that woman did this whole psychic thing, what she was bullshitting as was just like she had a credit card fraud, you find out. And you find out Stan's, he talked to the officer, which I thought he was going to hit on the officer. But he finally realizes that it's... No, she just left you or something. We didn't get the full point from that. But... And there's enough to it. At the end of the day, they just find out, well... Let's hang on again next week, And the savior today was Ross's character, but the whole paintball machines hitting all these fucking meth addicts, and she had meth heads, workers. I mean, I thought they were just regular homeless people now, but he hit his character and Stan's character and Lewis. I don't know. I put Stan, Ross, and Lewis. That's my top 3. I mean, Zach was the least guy. I didn't care. But there you go. At the end of the day, did I like the film? I loved the film. I thought it was pretty good. But I don't know if I could say I loved the film. Well, for the time moment, yeah. But it was a really good piece of film. But it has its downs, some of the acting was kind of... I didn't really care. And some parts were just very kind of blow off. But, just like... It's just at the end of the day, it's just like Ross at the end talking about... He's crying, this is a very fucking badass fire. It's a good fucking feeling. And we could go at the end of this, the conclusion, is the cliffhang. What happened? Well, they basically are going to do much more weekend adventures, which that's awesome. Work those 7 days just to realize Saturday is your hangout with your bros and bitches. Hopefully Melonie and Lewis got together. I think that was pretty. I think pretty fucking cool what they did. Victoria was about to get arrested, but who knows about her? She's probably still doing her stupid bullshit. Ross hopefully becomes a cop because he got failed out because he was a failed cop. Zach, hopefully he got out of the situation, and hopefully Stan got a woman, the last woman. Maybe he got that chick, the police officer. Yeah, that's what I think. But it was good. So hope you guys enjoyed that part of the spoil view. But I'm STS. Faith forgets for watching this simple review for Ghost Team. Peace. I'm out of here. Later.